Right away? Okay. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
So how long have you been a police officer?
Since January of 2006.
And then this opened 5 years later? Is that right?
Is it, yeah, that's about right. I think so.
So why did you open this school?
We felt it was an opportunity we'd been in contact with some other folks. The Linwood location had a driving school, and we'd looked into maybe working for them, and then we realized there wasn't any 911 driving schools up in the Marysville location or area, and we felt that it was a good program, and that bringing it to the area would be important.
So is this a franchise?
It is a franchise.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
they're throughout
Gotcha.
Washington State. Yeah.
But you co-own the one in Marysville.
The one in Marysville.
With
Yes.
another police officer.
Yes. Yep.
Do all police officers own it?
That's not a requirement to be an owner, but it definitely helps because our requirement for most of them is that you are a police officer to be an instructor at our school, so that you kind of bring that knowledge and experience from seeing collisions and driving situations and those sort of things to the driving instruction.
So are you still a police officer?
I am.
So you do double duty?
I do double duty.
Oh my
Will this lane take us where we want to go?
If you beat the semi, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
The right
Oh,
hand
wait
will take
here.
you.
So no blinker there.
And then
That makes
just
sense.
speed through the red light.
Okay.
Or the green light.
Okay.
Ahead of the semis and merge left.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll do that. We'll just get right here.
I
So
don't-
yeah, doing both is kind of part of it on our downtime. As you know, we instruct. So that's what most of our instructors do. Some of them have retired, and we use retired instructors also that have quite a bit of experience.
So as a police officer, how much of your work is kind of spent devoted to collisions or anything related to driving?
Related to driving, I think where I work, it's a large part of what we do. Collisions, account for a portion of our day and what we do, and then traffic enforcement to try and drive down the collisions in the area that there are more collisions. So we oftentimes take the data from a collision area, and then depending on what it is, if it's following too close or people using electronic devices, those sort of things, then we'll choose where we do that enforcement at.
So what does 911 driving school teach you? I mean, teach the person who's participating.
As far as traffic education,
Like, why would I come to this school? Why would I say I should do 911 driving school?
over a competitor or something like that, I think that we bring an experience level that's not seen in other driving schools. I think that real life application and experience and demonstration as to what we've seen, it's easy to get up in front of if I go straight here, we're good, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Do
you
you wanna
can just
go-
do you want to go south or do you want to north?
I don't care either way.
What
the
do you
area,
think,
but-
Tom?
If you go south, you'll get on the freeway right away.
Okay, perfect.
And then we can come back on First Avenue later on.
Okay, perfect. I think that as a police officer and as having seen the things that can happen, you have a lot of firsthand experiences to back up things when you give our people that are learning to drive, mainly those 15 to 18-year-olds that are taking traffic education, driver's education, they kind of bite into those things that you tell them. And when you bring a real life experience that you've seen or somewhere you've been, something like that, I think that it gives them just another layer of, oh, this really can happen. This really is a possibility.
This lane will get you to the southbound.
So stay right here, okay?
Yeah. So are most people who take your classes, are they young people or?
Yes, the majority of the people that take driver's education in Washington State are under the age of 18 years old. I think it's important for everyone to have that education, to have those hours in the classroom and then behind the wheel with an instructor. It gives them a better base for driving and for understanding the laws. We're expected, as a driver in Washington State, to know the laws no matter what, whether we took traffic education or not, to study the book and know them. And if people, so under 18, anyone under the age of 18 has to take traffic education to get their license, or they can wait and just take the written knowledge test and a drive test, and then they can get their driver's license.
What are some of the biggest offenses that you see on the road these days with traffic congestion as heavy as it is?
I think that when it is heavy, and I experienced this just driving down here today, is people get bored, if you will, and they start using electronic devices, not paying attention, not keeping that space gap as we are here between the vehicles in front of them, and really devoting all of their attention to the roadway and what's going on there.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that's like totally realistic in the sense that if you're just crawling at a pace, then you do end up like looking at things that you shouldn't be looking
People
at.
start playing with the radio, they start using their phone, they start doing things that, like you got a car here that's less than one car length in front of them. If that car applied their brakes for whatever reason, if they're paying attention to an electronic device, are they going to have time to stop? And then I think that's a large contributor to our traffic congestion. And what we have is collisions. They cause, it took me an extra about 40 minutes to get here today from Marysville. And according to the map, when I looked at it before we left, it was because there was a lot of collisions on the way, and there's any activity on the side of the roadway appears to slow traffic down because people are looking at it and they're being cautious as they drive by, those sort of things.
I'm not being too distracting, am I? Because
Nope.
you're...
One lane over if you kind of keep on going south.
Perfect, I will do that.
This is an exit only.
So chances are, though, right? Like as congested as we are these days, chances are you're going to end up on the side of the road at some point in your life.
Of course, tired. You may have a tire blowout. Maybe your gas gauge isn't reading right, or you didn't put the proper amount of gas, something like that, and you end up on the side of the road, which can be a dangerous situation, obviously, with cars coming by you at 60 miles per hour, something like that.
What do you recommend when that happens for people when they're parked on the side of the road?
Obviously, get as far off the side of the road as you can. We don't ever want to, and we're not supposed to, park on bridges, tunnels, those sort of things. You're not supposed to stop inside of those. But on the side of the road, when there's a big shoulder, get as far off the side of the road, carry flares or traffic triangles so that you can notify people that you are, go put them a couple hundred feet behind you so that people can see that you are there on the side of the road.
How would you describe traffic in Seattle?
Traffic in Seattle varies, obviously, between time of day and work week or the weekends. I think that it is obviously a highly congested area with a lot of things going on. As you see right here where we are, we're almost surrounded by large semis, big rigs. I think that varies a little than as if you go farther up north towards the Marysville, Arlington, Mount Vernon area. Traffic thins out a little bit, and there's just different challenges there with that.
Traffic is terrible.
Yes, very much so. It is terrible. Traffic in the area is terrible, and it accounts for a large part of our day now when we're going to and from work. And
Yeah, it stinks. Do you think that more people are taking your driving school, or enrolling in your driving school these days, or do you have anything that's like, I don't know, that would show like things are changing and we're responding to that change?
I don't know if it has been a response. People have taken it as a response to the traffic per se, but I think that we have changed the way that we teach on the freeway drives and such with our students up there. Traffic and even up to the Marysville area where our business is at and where we drive from has gotten significantly increased since we started driver's education, with development and those sort of things that are taking place up in that area.
Can you name a couple things that you've changed?
When we go for drives, we have to account for the shorter amount of drive time, obviously, because there's more traffic. It takes longer to get on the freeway from where we're at. It takes longer to exit the freeway and get back on, those sort of things. And that's what we work on a freeway drive. And then we talk about space cushions and such, and when to be in the slow lane, when to be in the middle lane, and then whether to use what people consider the fast lane, which is really the passing lane.
So you just had to really kind of focus on like freeway driving and stuff.
Yes, we have a specific drive dedicated to it because it can be so complex, and it can be also pretty intimidating to somebody that is just starting to drive.
Am I missing anything? Like, is there anything that you want to add? Like, why is your school so important these days?
I think traffic education is important for any person that's getting on the roadway because, like we talked about when we were pulling out from the studio, is that we're expected to know the laws, and we're expected by our family to be home every night, and by taking the time to enroll in traffic education and learn what is the rules and kind of some of the things to think about. There's a lot of people that maybe will never experience I-5 traffic in Seattle, but it's good to know because if you have to go down there for whatever reason, you have that information. If you don't talk about that in traffic education, if you don't learn about those things, then I think that it puts you at a disadvantage, somebody that gets behind the wheel. Oftentimes I will pull a car over for some sort of traffic infraction, and the person will be 18, 19 years old, and they had no idea that what they were doing was a violation of the law because they were never taught it, and they did the bare minimum to pass the traffic education course.
I was kind of like one of those. So I understand where you're coming from.
Yep.
Is there anything that you want to add?
I
think that's
so.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay,
is
that enough? Okay.
And just for the record, say and spell your first and last name.
My first name's Seth, S-E-T-H, and my last name's Kinney, K-I-N-N-E-Y.
And how do you want to be titled?
You can put owner, instructor, owner, whatever
And
you
you're
would
an
like.
officer of Marysville?
I work for Arlington.
Arlington.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
I think Tom's just going to take video. And,
Sweet.
I mean, it was really going to be a quick shoot, and
Yeah.
not intentionally. It's just,
No, yeah.
It's kind of.
There's only so much material for traffic. Yeah. Yep.
Feel free to take this exit,
Okay.
turn left, and then come back.
On the
First
other way?
turn left, go over and over, pass the in the right-hand lane, and it'll take you back northbound to Seattle.
Sweet. Perfect.
How many people do you have in your? I can't talk.
It's
in
okay.
your school? Did I ask you that already?
Instructors?
How many enrolled do you think?
It depends on the month. The start of school season really is a lower time of year for students to get enrolled because of sports and those sort of things. And then the summer season is when we have a larger amount of kids that start class, and we put out there and go from there. Take a left here, Tom.
Yes,
Okay.
you'll need
Yeah, and then just go
left
back
lane here,
up.
turn left,
No.
and stay in the far right-hand lane.
And then stay in the far. Okay.
And then you'll see the signs that say northbound
Oh, yeah.
Seattle, and it'll
Roundabout
curve you
there.
right around.
Yeah. Yeah, I think traffic, it's hard, but it just takes, if you step back and look, it's a lot of kind of the way that we have became over the years of being in a hurry, and we're all guilty of those sort of things, but in a hurry, need to get somewhere, not paying attention to what's going on, and then all of a sudden there's a fender bender or something that adds that. Do you know where insurance is at? So if all of a sudden the crashes spike in the area, the insurance, that's going to kind of be a trend that they go with. Same as stolen cars. If you live in the area where there's stolen cars, your insurance is higher. I think that, the higher the collisions go, it seems that, but people don't think of insurance as us sharing it. They don't think of the roadway as sharing it. Or when I think that, as we, if we were to think of it more as a team effort, everybody's trying to get somewhere somewhere the safest that we can. I talk with the students a lot actually about preparing yourself for driving. When it's not just jumping into the metal box with an engine and going, it's thinking about where you're going, what you have to do, knowing where you're going, and those sort of things.
That's a great point. I'm writing it down on my phone.
Perfect.
So
Which
not
part?
texting.
No, that's okay. You're the passenger. You can text. That's what people should be doing. But it's funny, speaking about texting, is you will see people oftentimes that are dividing their attention to electronic devices when they have passengers in the car, when those people could be, and that's what it is.
You're putting other people at risk.
Yeah, dividing your attention and not paying attention to the task at hand. And that's, we talk a lot about hands-free devices, and even though it's hands-free, you're still dividing your attention. Your and I's talking here is dividing our attention, of what we have going on.
Yeah, there are already so many other things, like your radio, or maybe your kids, or maybe,
Yep.
Or you're eating. Oh my God. I don't know how many times I've been like, please do not choke and die.
Yeah.
While you're driving.
It's
so embarrassing.
Yep. It takes that hand-eye coordination to reach down and grab another fry, or to, you know what I mean? And that is all dividing our attention from kind of the task that's at hand, I guess.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and yeah.
So can I ask, how much is it for your driving school?
So our basic course starts at, I think it is 5:25.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I think I should make sure we check that when we get back,
Okay.
so I give you
How
the
long
right
is it?
number. So it is a 30-hour course, so it's 30 hours of the instruction course. We do then that's the state minimum is 30 hours with 5 hours of driving and at least 1 hour of observation.
Okay.
And then we use a kind of a simulator program that brings up questions. We do it as a class, and the questions pop up on the screens. It's things like, they'll show the picture of the car driving down the road, and it's all fogged over except for a little kind of porthole there to look out, and you can't see the kid that's coming across the screen.
Right.
They'll stop it, ask what you should do, and then they'll move the fog away, and you'll see that there's a kid running out in front of the car.
Oh,
So we use a way to kind of pose those questions to students that you don't want to have happen. I always joke with the parents that we use the simulator so we don't have to borrow their little siblings to run out in front of them and see what happens, because we wouldn't want to do that. But I think
Right.
it's important that we're posing those questions and those things and not just making them, because it's so easy for kids to either be thinking about something else or, at 15, 16 years old and not be paying attention. But when you get something that engages an entire class, it's
Yeah.
really good for that.
So interesting. I might contact
Oh yeah, the Linwood location would be much closer for you.
Woody. Okay.
Yeah, there's the Linwood it's still by the mall there. Right by the mall is where the Linwood
Okay.
location is. There's an Everett location, and then we're up in Marysville.
But
Kind of.
still, it would be good. I think my sister
Mhm.
needs to take a class. So wait,
Okay.
what do you think about this car? Like, how does that car end up there, and like what happens? Like,
The quicker that your battery is going to get drained.
but you should let your battery drain. Like you should put your.
Oh,
hazards
you should
on.
put your hazards on. Yeah, most definitely. Especially if, it seems like all the time when, something happens, everything else fails, you can't get on your phone
Yeah.
or it's died or something like that. So yeah, it's important that you put on your hazards. A lot of people will be changing their tires and the seatbelt on.
Oh.
Because you're still that possibility of the collisions. Police officers are killed multiple times a year because when they're on traffic stops on the side of the freeway, high speeds,
Right.
people gravitate towards those lights. Well, the same as if you're on the side of the road and somebody's not paying attention or they're impaired by drugs or alcohol, right? They may kind of go off the side of the road, and if they hit your car, you want to be seatbelted in and you want to be sitting inside of the car. Or on the other side, you have a cement jersey barrier right here. You would get on the other side of that cement barrier, right? You would have your family wait on. That's going to be the safest thing. You'll see a lot all you have to do is look up maybe some YouTube videos. You'll see people that are standing outside of their car in the snow because they've gotten in a car wreck. Well, more cars are coming and they're hitting them, and there's nowhere for them to go. A person's body versus a car is not going to win.
Yeah.
Obviously, and
Should people then not change their tire? Like, I wouldn't really want to change my tire.
I think that if you have supplemental insurance like a roadside assistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that those are worth their weight.
Oh, yeah, let me take a picture of this.
Okay. As it's all dirty. Okay. No, it's fine. It's not that bad. We actually had this car rewrapped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the wrapping was just falling